guys, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, we're Sonsanderi and we are South Africans living and teaching at a primary school in Guangzhou.
And today, we're taking you through a typical day in our life as ESL teachers in China.
So you can see what school looks like from a TEFL teacher's point of view.
And of course, this is just our personal experience at our school, but other schools may look different in China.
So we're on our way to work now. We live super close to the school. It's about a 5-minute bus ride. And we live in a community that offers a free community bus. So we usually take that and go to school. There's also the school bus which comes to our area, which we can use. So there's quite a few options to get to school. So this is my classroom. There are 35 students, hence the 35 desks. Usually the desks are pushed together, so the students are sitting as partners and they can work with friends. But now we're doing exams, so obviously the desks are pushed apart. Each class typically has about 3 to 4 homeroom teachers who are all responsible for the students. Generally, it's a Chinese teacher, a local English teacher, an international English teacher, and another teacher. It's super spacious and bright in this class, and we also have a reading corner where the kids, during their 5 to 10 minute breaks, can come and grab a book and spend the time reading. And you'll also notice that there are a lot of decorations around this class. The students often have projects which they take home, they do at home, and then they bring to school, and then we always stick it up on the walls so the students are always looking at it and talking about it during their free time. I think my favorite part about this class is the screen that we can use for our PPTs and our teaching resources, and the fact that we have 2 blackboards as well. And we also have a cleaning station over here. In our school, the classes are not cleaned by cleaners. The students have the responsibility of cleaning the classrooms during the lunch break. Each day, there's a new student who is assigned the responsibility of cleaning the class, and it'll be on a roster basis, so every day will be a new student.
So that's just one classroom in our school, but actually our school has 5 floors of classrooms. Our school also has a dance studio, art room, science room, library, a computer room, and a huge field. So a lot of people ask us if you need to be able to speak Chinese to teach English here in China. And the answer is actually no. You don't need to be able to speak any Chinese whatsoever. Although, I mean, when moving to a foreign country, you absolutely should try to learn the local language just to get by in general. But as for being a TEFL teacher, everything is fully taught in English, and we actually have a Chinese co-teacher to help us along the way.
So during our lessons, we usually have a co-teacher with us. They're basically the local Chinese English teacher, and they're there to help us manage the class in case the behavior gets a bit out of hand, because sometimes trying to manage 35 students in a foreign language can feel a little bit overwhelming. And if there's language barrier issues, they help us translate.
And right now, our students are at a flag raising ceremony, which they do every Monday morning. They basically raise the Chinese flag and sing the national anthem, and some classes will do performances for the rest of the school.
So we usually use this time to prep for our lessons.
Okay, it's 9:58 a.m. The students are about to have their daily exercise, which happens every day at 10 a.m. And basically the whole school gets together and does stretching and little running and skipping and exercises. And in 2 minutes, it's about to be loud and chaotic because students are going to be finished with their tests and they're going to have to get up and do this exercise. So be prepared. Okay, so the students just had snack time, which they have twice a day, one at 10:30 after the morning exercise, and then one again at 3:05 in the afternoon. As you can see, today they had 2 different types of juices, apple juice and some lemon tea. Although I think this one was actually specifically for the teachers. I just got given this. But usually the students will get a little drink, like an orange juice or apple juice, sometimes milk, and then usually a snack like banana, bread, yogurt, something healthy, but just to give them a little bit of energy for the rest of the day. So we teach 16 English lessons per week, and each lesson is between 35 to 40 minutes long.
And we also have an after-school club on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So students have a whole bunch of clubs to choose from, and it's all different. For example, there's basketball club, badminton, there's drawing and sketching club, a DIY making things club, and I personally teach the drawing club. So I have grade 1s and 2s, and we just do very simple drawings and sketches, and they absolutely love it.
And I take the chess club, but I don't actually teach them chess. So they learn the chess theory from the local Chinese teacher. And then when it's time to play chess, I walk around and help them with each other. And sometimes I play with the students as well. So I'm more of an assistant in the chess club, but that's my Tuesday and Thursday afternoons.
So with regard to our English lessons, we typically divide it between phonics and oral English.
So the first half of the lesson is usually oral English. So we give them a topic of the week and they'll practice speaking. For example, we'll give them a picture of the beach and teach them how to make conversation and answer questions. For example, what can you see at the beach? What can you do at the beach? And get them to do pair work and practice asking and answering questions together. Bear in mind, we have the grade 1s, so they're very young students and English is obviously not their first language, so we try to make it as fun and interactive for them as possible.
So we love to use songs, visuals, stories, flashcards, dance moves. It has to be as fun and interactive as possible, and the students love it because grade 1s have such short attention spans, so we have to keep them engaged.
So that's the first half of our English lesson, but then we move on to phonics. That's when the students will learn new vocabulary words of the day, practice their pronunciation, and learn how to use these new words in sentences. And then we also have English Corner. That's when we'll take a handful of students, sit in a little circle, and just talk about everyday life. It's good to get them in a smaller setting so that they can feel more confident to speak in front of others because let's face it, a class of 35 students doesn't make it easy for each student to have a turn to speak. So we regularly have English Corner activities to help our students practice their English conversation skills and build that confidence. And I know you're probably thinking, wow, their school is so nice and quiet. How do they get their students to be so quiet?
Well, actually, the students are writing final exams this week.
So that's why we finally have some peace and quiet.
And as for the exams, we have to deal with all of the admin.
So the students will write a written English exam, but they also have an oral English exam. And so we take the students one-on-one to do their oral English paper. So we ask them a bunch of simple questions. It starts off with, what's your name? How old are you? What's your hobby? And what day is it today? And then we test their phonics, see if they can remember the pictures and vocabulary that we taught them, their reading skills, so they have to read the words. And then we practice the oral conversation. What can you see at the beach? What can you do at the beach? And then a few other oral English activities. And each student's exam takes between 8 and 10 minutes. And we have 35 students and 3 classes. So we have about 104 students times 10 minutes to get through. I'm sure you can do the math. That takes quite long.
This week I've been going to bed and all I can think of is, so what do you do at the beach? Or what can you see at the beach? How old are you? What's your name? Cat, cat, cat.
Okay, we're about to do daily eye exercise with our students now. Basically, they do this every day, twice a day, for 5 minutes. And it's massaging the eyes and the temples and the back of the neck to help them relax and to relieve eye fatigue. So it is now 12 o'clock, it is lunchtime. We are so lucky here in China because we get a 2-hour lunch break. And that is actually because the first 30 to 40 minutes is lunchtime where everyone eats lunch. But then the next hour is actually nap time. And this goes for the students, but also the adults in China. Like nap time is taken very seriously here. I remember once we went to the bank during our lunch break and the bank teller was literally napping at her desk. We had to wait until 2 p.m. for it to be done. And it goes the same even for like our nail appointments or anything really. A lot of people nap during lunchtime, so you have to respect that. And I guess we can't complain because that means we get to have our nap too.
Usually we eat lunch at school because our school provides us with a free lunch, which is amazing. Otherwise, we also like to spend our lunch breaks going to the gym, or sometimes we like to go home and rest and then order some food in. But really, it is so nice being able to leave campus and go out and do whatever you need to do for those 2 hours. I mean, it's like the perfect time to go and run errands, or if you want, you can go to the shopping mall and go shopping. Or Guangzhou also has some beautiful parks where you can just take a book, go read and relax, or you can even go out for lunch. We once went to a mall and we had some sushi, and then we came back to work, and it was such a nice lunch.
But today we're heading back home to relax. We're gonna order some delicious food off of Meituan because honestly, it is so affordable to just order food delivery here in China. So we'll probably get some yummy dumplings, have a nice meal, and then have a relaxing nap because it's been exams this week and we are very exhausted. So let's go have our nice relaxing lunch and we'll check in with you again when we're back at school. So our students are about to finish their last exam now, and us teachers have set up a fun gardens activity. So each teacher is responsible for their own station, and we're going to play fun English games with them. It can be phonics related or vocabulary, anything really, just to get them a bit more excited and have some fun after all their hard work from their studies.
Okay, my game is called Word Battle. So think of it like Battle of the Bands, but words edition. So there's 2 boards, so 2 students can play at a time. I will do an action and the students have to guess which word it is. So then we swap and the students choose a word, they have to act it out, and I need to guess which word it is. It's like charades.
So my game is called Spin a Sound. Basically, they'll spin the wheel and it'll land on a sound. So double O, ooh. They should give me a word with this, like moon or boot. And then we'll make it even more fun and have a competition. So 2 students against each other, they'll spin and it'll land on a sound like A-Y-A, and which student says a word first with A-Y, they'll be the winner. And I know it might sound a little boring, but trust me, kids love spinning the wheel. I remember when I was in grade 2, I always wanted to spin the wheel.
Okay, the bell is just rang, so the students are coming down. We have to get ready.
Okay, spin the wheel. EA, what word can you think of? Yay, good job. Well, that was lots of fun. I'd say it was a success. The students had a good time. Wow. There were a lot of PKs going on. At first it was 1 student versus 1, and then it was like 3 against each other, and at one point there were 10 people in a competition. Yo, my voice is probably going to be gone tomorrow, but they had a good time, so all was a success.
Well, now it's time to head back to the classrooms and get on with all the admin things. We have to grade exams, we have to write student comments, and all that fun stuff. So let's go.
And apart from fun English activities or games days, we also go on school field trips with our students once a semester. And where we go, it depends on what the students have been learning. For example, when the students were learning about animals and the life cycle, we took them to the zoo, and they were obsessed with this field trip. For the topic of space, we took them to the Space Museum. And if the students are learning anything related to the history and culture of China, we take them to traditional Chinese villages. So if there's one thing our school is really good at, it's creating the opportunities for students to learn while having fun outside of the classroom.
So it is 6:20 p.m. and it is finally home time. We actually end work at 4:45 p.m. but because of exams, we had quite a lot of grading to do and some extra admin. But we're finally done and it's time to go home.
So the day is done, but I actually have a dentist appointment now in 30 minutes. So I'm gonna take you guys with me. Let's go.
你好，3394。
So I was actually recommended this dentist by a friend, and I'm coming for a basic cleaning and a dental checkup. So I just signed in. The language barrier was a little bit difficult, but thank goodness for WeChat Translate. Literally saved the day. But it's looking quite busy. So I'm gonna take a seat and then I'll check in with you afterwards.
OK，谢谢。
I can't believe that this entire dentist appointment cost me 34 RMB or $5 US. And I just had a dental cleaning and a full checkup, including a CT scan. How does this make sense? Back home in South Africa, it would literally cost like $100 just for the CT scan of the mouth, never mind the cleaning or the checkup. And my dentist spoke a little bit of English, so it wasn't bad. But I am so grateful for my friend who recommended this dentist. Honestly, 10 out of 10 experience. And I always believe that after a dentist appointment, it's good to treat yourself. So I'm quickly stocking up on some sweet treats.
Well, we really hope you enjoyed spending the day with us. And if you enjoyed watching this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel to stay tuned for our future content. But until then, bye besties!